celebration for our class of 2021. At this time, and without any further ado, we would like to present the graduates of Irma School, class of 2021. Play ball. Again, welcome everyone. We'll get moving with our program here. First and foremost, we'd like to have Mr. Sheldon Archibald bring greetings from the Buffalo Trail Public School School Board. Mr. Archibald.
Good evening. It's an honor to be here tonight to bring greetings and congratulations from the Buffalo Trail Public School Board. What a spectacular theme. And so the adventure begins. What a beautiful day. It's going to be a great adventure for all of you. When I graduated over 30 years ago, I never dreamed this spectacular castle-like new school would be here. And the original school we've always known would be completely gone, and a running track on that site. It's a fantastic memory and a great sense of pride for the community to have the class of 2021 to be graduating today on this stage. Your educators, your family and friends have all made sacrifices so that you'd be successful. They're here watching tonight's ceremony, live stream, to share this rewarding moment because they've all played an important part in your success. I always give thought in the weeks leading up to grad as to what I might be able to say on this great day that you'd remember 10 years from now. And so the adventure begins. Irma grad class of 2021. It encouraged me to think of the greatest wishes for your success. You decide and you choose your adventures after graduating high school. Making a big life change is pretty scary, but you know what's even scarier? Regret. It's your life. Don't let anyone make you feel guilty for living it your way. Instead of being afraid of the challenge and failure, be afraid of avoiding challenge and doing nothing. Live for today, enjoy the moment. Success isn't what others can see, but how you feel. It's living your truth and knowing what makes you truly happy. That's success. Irma class of 2021, you're now moving forward to your adventure. When you start doubting yourself, remember how far you've come. Remember everything you've faced, all the battles you've won, and the fears you've overcome. Your greatest strength comes from your weakest days. The path may get rocky, but it's going to lead to some amazing places. I found that difficult roads often lead to the most beautiful places, and the temptation to quit will be the greatest just before you're about to succeed. Graduating class of 2021, so the adventure begins. If you believe you can, you're halfway there. You can't have $1 million dream with a minimum wage work ethic. If I could give you 3 things from this strong community, it would be the confidence to always know your self-worth, the strength to chase your dreams, and the ability to know how loved you are by your family, friends, and community. On behalf of the Buffalo Trail Public School Board, I salute you for your accomplishments and congratulate your parents and guardians for helping you become the people you are.
Thank you, Mr. Archibald. At this time, I get to bring greetings from Irma School. And it's kind of like when you go to a house party and there's really nice shoes at the front door, like there's lots of speeches up here. I want to pick the best one so that I can use it, but here's what I wrote. Greetings from Irma School. As principal of Irma School, it's my distinct honor to bring greetings to you, the class of 2021, on behalf of the students and staff at Irma School. When I asked the staff to tell me what exemplifies the essence of this class, they told me, some of you might be starting to see the irony of that. They were very quiet. All kidding aside, know that the staff and students of Irma School are with you tonight as you are finally given the opportunity to share your graduation with family and friends. And so the adventure begins. Truly some timely wisdom based on your current spot in life. Take it from me, life can very much be an adventure. Life has a way of challenging what should seem to be a simple concept. Work hard and you'll achieve your goals. Sounds simple enough? Then throw in a global pandemic or a global recession. Talk about obstacles to that seemingly linear path. Adversity doesn't build character, it reveals it, is a quote from James Allen. The adversity or obstacles you face in your adventures will reveal to you whether or not you have what it takes to overcome the obstacle, or if you will need to learn another skill to do so. We as a staff, with the help of your parents, have tried to equip you with a wide range of skills, but now it's up to you. We'll all never be experts at everything we attempt, but we can greatly benefit from a love of lifelong learning and the adventures it may take you on. In each of your unique ways, you can excel at those things you continue to invest your time and energies in. Be passionate yet practical. Dream, then do the hard work of making it a reality. Shy away from the paths of least resistance, as they rarely get you any further ahead than good old-fashioned hard work. Most of all, our hope as a staff is that you, the class of 2021, strive to be part of the solution rather than part of the problem. Grads of 2021, know that we, the staff, and your fellow students are extremely proud of the fine adults you are becoming. Know that you will always have a home at Irma School. Know that we will be here to support you in your journeys forward, and that we will be cheering you along through your successes and your challenges. Know that your community is behind you and willing to step up to the plate to assist you in being the best version of you that you can be. We will always have your backs. My final piece of advice is the same two requests that were taught to me by my grandpa, which I shared with you in the first assembly we had when I became principal here. These are the words I live by and ones that I hope you'll remember long after your time at Irma School. To be truly successful in life, you only need to do two things. One is have fun, and the other one is show respect. Congratulations, class of 2021. At this time, I'd like to invite Mr. Parsons up to begin the introductions of the grad class.
Hi guys, you guys look awesome. You got here on time, unlike these introductions I was supposed to have weeks ago. But we'll start. So unfortunately, one of our graduates is unable to be here tonight, but we would still like to take this opportunity to introduce him and publicly acknowledge his accomplishments. Gabriel Aaron Goslin. Son of Greg and Kara, Gabe can often be found working long hours. He plans on taking some time to think of a career and to later take a trade. Best of luck in the future, Gabe. So I think Gabe might be watching us right now, so if we can turn right back in the corner, just wave and say, "Hi, Gabe," and give him a big round of applause. And if he is watching, that's the first time he's ever let me have the last word. Lincoln Glover. Son of Rick and Tammy Glover, Lincoln can often be found at the hockey rink. He will take a year off and then pursue a business degree or certification as a heavy-duty mechanic. We wish you the best in your future, Lincoln. Destiny Feuder. Destiny, daughter of Dennis and Raylene, can often be found immersed in reading. After graduation, she plans to work and volunteer before going to post-secondary school. Good luck in the future, Destiny. Skyla LeBlanc. Also known as Sky or Theo, Skyla is the daughter of Helen Price and Mark LeBlanc. She can often be found either working or wherever Emily Larson may be. She is known for annoying the boys with her beautiful singing voice, which we're going to miss so come Christmas Carol season. After graduation, she plans to go to Medicine Hat College for a practical nursing diploma and eventually upgrade to a registered nurse. All the best to you in your future, Skyla. Jada Janetti Feuder. Jada is the daughter of Dennis and Raylene Feuder and can often be found studying in her room. She has been accepted to the Faculty of Science at the University of Calgary. We wish you the best in your future, Jada. Donna Bega. Daughter of Vikram and Suman Bega, Donna can often be found in the common area during chemistry or at Tim Hortons during the first period. She is known for acing almost everything while also making the funniest mistakes. Donna plans to attend the Alberta School of Business at the University of Alberta with plans to study medicine or law in the future. Good luck, Donna. Emily Larson. Daughter of Lee and Tracy Larson, she is often found next to Skyla and her family. Emily is known for her clumsiness. After graduation, she plans to work for a year while also deciding what the future holds for her. Good luck in your future endeavors, Emily. Okay, one last time, guys. The grads of 2021. Let's hear it for them.
At this time, it's my pleasure to invite up the valedictorian of the class of 2021, Ms. Jada Feuder, to give her valedictory address.
Thank you. Aristotle once said, "The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet." I remember my parents telling me that high school is only a short chapter in our lives, that we should enjoy our youth and not let our tribulations define us. We've all experienced the difficulties that are planted in learning, the stress of education in high school. And now, as the class of 2021 steps into the brighter future, we will understand that the bitter roots of our education will bear the fruits of success. We've chosen the theme, "And so the adventure begins," so as to embody our future and honor our past and roots. As we fly away from the nest, we wish to recognize all of the people who've played a role in our development and thank them for their support and nurturement. You have constructed our wings that will carry us into the future and allow us to enjoy the adventure that awaits. To the teachers and staff at Irma School who've created a nurturing environment, we will continue to uphold the values you've instilled in us, and we will always cherish the memories we've created together. As Tom Cochrane once said, "Life is a highway." Many of us have experienced the difficulties of navigating through our education, and some are still unaware of their destination. And that's okay, because the world is an endless highway of opportunity, so choose the path that's right for you. And as we merge into the real world, I want to give a special thanks to the parents for both figuratively and literally giving us gas to travel to new places. The road we've traveled thus far has had its fair share of potholes and speed bumps. We've made mistakes, but we're fortunate enough to be raised in an environment that forgives our mistakes. As a class, we started as a small sapling. Many teachers and substitutes described us as quiet and respectful. I'm sure that's why they loved us so much. But oftentimes we were too quiet, like in grade 9 in Mr. McKillop's science class, when no one would answer and we would stall the class with our silence. Oftentimes, Mr. McKillop would give up and move on with the lesson, or one of us would finally cave to a silent stare and tell him the answer. Since then, we've grown into a beautiful tree, sometimes too loud and obnoxious. Throughout our growth, we've learned many things, some that we'll carry with us and others that will continue to wonder, why did we even learn this? In our grade 5 math class, our teacher, Mr. Dawson, loved the quote, "To be or not to be, that is the question." He would always reference it every time someone asked a question about to be. Of course, we were ignorant elementary students at this point, and had we known how dreadful Shakespeare is, we probably wouldn't have loved this quote so much. And I'm sure all of my classmates are thrilled since we never have to read another Shakespearean play. Still, we're thankful for the fun times we had in Mrs. Hall's English class, though I'm sure she wasn't too thrilled to have to teach some of us how to spell simple words and basic grammar despite being in grade 12. If you ask my kindergarten self, what do you want to be when you grow up? Beyond a doubt, I would have said a princess. Disney's Cinderella played a large role in my wild aspirations. She taught me that if we do not allow our circumstances to hinder our goals, we can achieve our dreams. To all of my classmates, I wish this upon you. Never allow yourself to succumb to the limits of your situation. Instead, fight for what you want, and your dreams will likely come true. And even if you're not able to achieve what you intended to, you will still learn from your experiences and take valuable lessons from them. Now, although our entire class hated poetry, I wish to end my speech with a famous quote from a well-known poem, The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. "Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference." Thank you.
Very well done, Jada, and very appropriate for your class. At this time, if we can turn our attention to the video board, and we will have a slide presentation for the class of 2021.
Gang of kids on our pedal bikes, in a dusty town we'd arrive, to the general store for Popeye cigarettes. Class of 99, yeah, we lived, laughed, loved, and cried, and took for granted that those days would never end. Living like that yearbook picture wouldn't fade, but some standing right beside me I might never see again. The trouble is, you think you have time, you think tomorrow's always coming down the line. Then one day you wake up and you find the trouble is you thought you had time. Suit and tie and a fancy job, big old house, 2-car garage. He works hard for his wife and his son. An empty seat at T-ball games is just a sacrifice he'll make. He'll make it up next weekend comes along. Years go by and that day comes too soon. And that boy goes off to college. You stand in his empty room. The trouble is, you think you have time, you think tomorrow's always coming down the line. And then one day you wake up and you find the trouble is you thought you had time. Shotgun shells and a tackle box on the floorboard of a truck. Morning sun, burning fog off a lake. A teenage girl with her granddad, he takes her fishing, but he feels bad 'cause she can't take her eyes off that old Facebook page. But someday soon, who knows how long, She'll look up from that phone and he'll be gone. The trouble is, you think you have time. You think tomorrow's always coming down the line. And then one day, you wake up and you're fine. The trouble is, you thought you had time. The trouble is, you think you have time.
On the evening news, saw an old man being interviewed. Turning 102 today. They asked him what's the secret to life. He looked up from his old pipe, laughed and said, all I can say is, don't blink. Just like that, you're 6 years old and you take a nap and you wake up and you're 25. Then your high school sweetheart becomes your wife. Don't blink, you just might miss your babies growing like mine did, turning into moms and dads. Next thing you know, you better have a 50 years as they're in bed. And you pray and God takes you instead. Trust me, friend, 100 years goes faster than you think. So don't blink.
Don't blink, it goes by real quick. At this time, the grad class has invited Mr. Brandon Thompson to be their guest speaker. So if we can have Mr. Thompson to the podium, please.
Thank you, Mr. Grosky. Good evening, grads, honorable guests, teachers, parents, families, and the Irma community. It's good to be back. Good to see you guys. Been a while. You look really good. It sounds like you're still as quiet as always, but I'm sure there's some wild in you, right? First, thank you for thinking of me and asking me to come. It's an honor to be here speaking on what is undoubtedly one of the most exciting days of your life so far. You've come a long way from the time you're in grade 6 class with me. And this last year seems really quite long, doesn't it? I even bought a new suit for the occasion, sort of. Honestly, bought it in December of 2019, and now I can finally wear it. It seems like a miracle. Oh, sorry. The last year was one for the books, but we're going to skip past that. We're here tonight to reminisce a bit, to look to your future, and to salute you as you begin your adventure. I like your theme, and so the adventure begins. I wonder if you chose it because you think the best is yet to come. If you did, you're right. Your bags are packed. There are so many exciting moments that you have yet to experience. Some of them will be the happiest days of your life. Some will be the hardest. Some will leave you in awe of the world around you, both good and bad. And some will knock you down, and you will have to pick yourself right back up. Either way, you're jumping in equipped with a full backpack. However, I don't know if your adventure is about to begin. It started many years ago. This is just a closing of one chapter and the opening of another, filled with much, much more. Many people have contributed to your adventure so far. Your parents, teachers, family members, coaches, friends, and this community. So if you see anyone who had a contribution to you tonight, remember to thank them for the adventures they've given you so far. Chapter after chapter, adventure after adventure, they were there to help you and give you the tools you needed to put into your backpack and equip you for your first solo adventure. Your adventure began the day you entered the world. Think about the day you were given a food you didn't like and promptly spit it out, right back at your parents. They laughed, you made a face, and here began one of your first tests of character. You were starting to prove to the world what you liked and didn't like, and made sure they knew it. Not long after came the day you decided to put one foot in front of another. Take a few steps and fall to the ground, but get right back up and try again. At a young age, you were already learning to pack some determination in your adventure bag. I know from teaching your class over the years that you certainly use this tool often. It has gotten you a long way so far. How about the day you saw a peer being pushed on the playground and took the time to be their friend? Compassion. It's not something that all people exude or can admit to using on a regular basis, but you can certainly bet that understanding its importance will put you ahead of the rest. Here's one you all likely know a version of, having that awful test you need to study for, and choosing actually to study instead of going to the social event or social media. Having a conscience will keep you on the right path for your adventure. Have fun, but remember, you'll need to keep your head clear to get the important things done. These are all important tools to pack for your adventure, as is a sense of humor. My wife will probably agree that I forget to pack mine from time to time, and maybe you guys would too. So don't go being a Mr. T-Rex. A little humor can go a long way when you need it the most. Last but dare we say most important is your confidence. You need to trust yourself, believe in yourself, challenge yourself, and dare the world to join you in celebrating what you can do and what you have achieved. You won't regret packing that along. Having taught you in elementary and junior high in core classes and options, I've watched some of the chapters of your adventures unfold, and with every adventure, you grew and added tools to your adventure bag. And we know you all have each one of them. I've witnessed them in use. Remember our outdoor ed camp when I took you on a 4K cross-country ski across Moline Lake? I didn't know if you were all going to make it back, but you dug into your backpacks and you found the tools you needed to get there. Those tests that you studied for and thought you just nailed, but maybe didn't. But you still studied the next time. Okay, kept going. The tick, 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 tick as you made your birdhouses in grade 6, determined to get those nails into those pre-drilled holes for you. In IA class, some of your projects were a bit of a long shot. We often had to change your plans along the way. Sometimes you had to start over, but that didn't deter you from producing a top-notch product. Sometimes there were even minor wounds, right, Emily? Or foods, when we had a carrot cake-off, and the boys shocked us all with a determined win. And here's a good story from Mrs. Gwynn. In grade 4, she recalls the fire alarm going off right after recess, chaos in the halls, not everyone was in their rooms yet. She quickly ran to the room to find the door closed, thinking, oh, good, they got out themselves. But she knew better, and she checked, and there you were, huddled behind a garbage can around the corner, because Gabe exclaimed that he was sure it was for the lockdown. And you all believed him. So maybe I tell you that story to remind you to always think for yourself. The past few months have brought us a lot of negative news stories. I want to share with you a good news story that ties in with the qualities I've touched on. You'll maybe recall this story, and if you have, think about it now in terms of what tools this young man packed and was given for his adventure. Antonio Gwynn was a young man your age from Buffalo, New York. In June of 2020, a riot broke out in his community. Once the dust settled, he grabbed trash bags and a broom and set off to get the streets clean at 2 a.m. He knew that the broken glass and debris on the streets would hinder people's ability to work the next morning. An organized group of neighbors came to help clean, but he was already done that job. Antonio's good work hit the news the next day. A man saw what an outstanding character Antonio exemplified and checked him out on Facebook. He saw that he'd been looking for a car advice on how to buy one. So this guy gave Antonio a 2004 red Mustang convertible. Antonio's mom had passed away a few years prior, and she too drove a red convertible Mustang. Local businessmen learned of Antonio's selfless acts and gave him 3 years of auto insurance. A local college heard that he liked to attend trade school. Free scholarship. I bet he never thought his adventure was going to start quite like that. The tools he packed in his bag, though, as he set out as a young adult to embark, put him on a whole other level, a level that we all see in all of you. So as your adventure begins, remember this story, remember your tools, remember your backpack, and remember how to use them, as there are many more adventures that are going to come your way. University, college graduations, vehicles, first houses, mortgages, births, deaths, travel, jobs, and so much more. Remember your character, remember your determination, remember your compassion, your conscience, and your humor. Remember your confidence as you move through each chapter and adventure. Take them with you and use them wisely. You, the class of 2021, are ready to go. Enjoy this adventure. You deserve every amazing aspect of it. Congratulations to the class of 2021. And so the adventure begins. Thank you.
Very well said, Mr. Thompson, and I know the grads definitely appreciate you taking the time to come to their graduation and giving them such kind words. At this time, we'll begin our Forever Grateful presentation. I would like to invite Jada and Destiny up to the podium to begin this part of the program.
This speech is dedicated to the parents of the graduates. Gratitude is like a million raindrops in the sky, forgotten on sunny days and sometimes lost in the clouds. But today, we want our gratitude to rain upon our parents. For all the sporting events you've driven us to, for all the tests we've passed and failed, for all the accidents and tribulations, for all the victories and celebrations. We are grateful for your unwavering support. There is a saying I heard a long time ago. I am a mosaic of everyone I have ever loved, even for a heartbeat. A part of you is in a part of us. You created a blank canvas and splashed our lives with color as we grew up. It is an honor and a blessing to have been raised by you. We don't show it enough, but we are grateful. From teaching us how to crawl and walk, to ride a bike, then to drive. From crying infants to capricious teenagers, you've supported us throughout our journey and paved the way for our growth. Words cannot describe how fortunate we are to have you in our lives. And so the adventure begins, even though the journey started roughly 18 years ago. It's thanks to you, the parents and guardians, that we are on this stage today, prepared to face the world of tomorrow. To you, we are forever grateful.
Okay, at this time, if I can ask all the grads to stand and give your parents a big hand. So grads, stand up, give them a big hand. Well done. And as a staff member at Irma School, we're intimately aware of the efforts and lengths to which you as parents go to ensure your children are prepared and ready to come to our school, and being able to work with you together to see them be successful is one of my greatest joys as an administrator and as a teacher, and I'm sure all of our teachers would say the same thing. So well done, graduates, well done, parents. You can be seated now. Next in the program is the class prophecy, which will be delivered by Miss Emily Larson and Miss Skyla LeBlanc. So Emily and Skyla, if you can come up.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A couple years after graduation, Irma Summerspiel's main event was psychic. I was able to get a private reading. I had to ask her what the future held from my class of 2021 and where we would be in 2030.
Gabe Gosland. While Gabe is taking a year off, he realizes something is missing, so he tries all the dating apps and has no luck. So he tries to start his own called Gabe's Babes. It becomes one of the most popular dating apps, and he becomes a millionaire. Though through some bad investments, it then results in him losing everything. But he finds true love with the first person to try out his dating app, Destiny Feuder. You can now find them living at Hilltop in his dad's house.
Since Destiny graduated from high school, she decided to take a year off. She started work at the co-op in Wainwright. Upon working, realizes how much she enjoys the work there, then became the manager. She came to the conclusion that something is missing in life. So she started using the dating apps and discovered Gabe's Babes, and realizes there are flaws to the app. So she contacts Gabe to complain, which results in them becoming a couple, and now her commute to work is a little longer.
Skyla LeBlanc. After graduation, Skyla goes to Brooks to take nursing. During her studies, Skyla has to tend to a bunion. As you should know, Skyla is disgusted by feet. She drops out of nursing school and travels the world to find her future husband. During Skyla's travels, she comes to a conclusion that there is no need for a man, as she has her best friend, Emily. Skyla moves to Irma with Emily, and they achieve their dream of living the Golden Girls life.
Emily Larson. Emily takes a year off to figure out her future. While on her year off, she lived in Clay and Tracy's basement. All Emily did was lay on the couch and cry over Skyla finding new friends in Brooks. Clay kicked Emily out of the basement because he was annoyed by her girly emotions. Skyla and Emily finally realized that they were too attached to each other and lived alone together like the Golden Girls for the rest of their lives.
Lincoln Glover. After graduation, Lincoln plans to be working for a year. He finds a job at the Irma rink and learns how to run the Zamboni as Randy Gainey's apprentice. During his hockey playing time, he received a hockey scholarship. He then realized how much he enjoyed all the little kids at the arena and wanted to spend more time with them. Lincoln then decided on ice caretaker as his future career. In the off-season, he works at Grand Coulee. Meanwhile, he also woke up and realized that Chevy is far superior to Ford and started a blog, and now he has 1.3 million subscribers.
Donna Bega. Donna heads off to University of Alberta to get a business degree, with plans to further her education and become a lawyer, and then moves to provincial politics. In her platform, She wants to raise the drinking age to 30. After losing the election by a very narrow margin, she decides to go back and run the family liquor store.
Jada Feuder. Jada heads off to the University of Calgary to get her Bachelor's of Science. Jada completes this and eventually becomes the vet she's always wanted to be. But even with Jada's success, she realizes something is missing. She stumbled across a blog and realized how superior Chevys are to Ford. So she reconnects with Lincoln and they begin a loving relationship.
Everybody makes up their own future. So as you can see, we do not know what the future can really hold. In the last year, we have realized what is important, and we will come back to our roots. Thank you.
Well then, ladies, next I'd like to invite up Miss Donna Baga to give the class will and testament.
Tonight, the 27th of August, symbolizes the beginning of our new adventures. So we, the graduating class of 2021, write our last will and testament and affirm their belongings to their successors. I, Donna Baga, leave my ability to grab Tim's and still be on time for class to Karis Erickson. I, Destiny Feuder, leave my ability to wear a hoodie in the summer and not sweat to Sinead Ford. I, Jada Feuder, leave my ability to put too much effort into minor assignments to Paige Pauls. I, Lincoln Glover, leave my ability to grow better facial hair than Mr. Parsons to Jagger Purkis. I, Gabe Goslin, leave my ability to pass every test without studying to Dominic Carrier. I, Emily Larson, leave my ability to talk during class and still know what's going on to Slade Furkis. I, Skylar LeBlanc, leave my ability to fall asleep during every social movie to Morgan Ward. We, the graduating class of 2021, hereby leave and proclaim that to the class of 2023, we leave our ability to be one of the smallest classes to have graduated from Irma School and be a class that is admired by every teacher who has ever taught us. To the class of 2022, we leave our ability to award diplomas and our senior rights.
Thank you, Donna. At this time, I'd like to invite Mr. Lincoln Glover up to give some thank yous from the class of 2021. Lincoln?
Wow, the gym looks great. Anyways, I'll keep this short. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out to support our grad class. Thank you to Mr. Thompson for being our guest speaker. It means a lot. We also have a little gift for you too, if you want to come up here one last time. Thanks to our trustee, Sheldon Archibald, for saying a few encouraging words. And thank you to Jagger Furkis and Holden Gwynn for being our ushers tonight. I'd also like to thank Miss Champion for helping us get prepared for today and arranging the beautiful decorations. To Mr. Grosky for being our MC, and to Mr. Parsons, who is running all the audio visual tonight, and for Miss Thompson for taking pictures with us during the ceremony. A huge thanks also has to go to Mrs. Gwynn. She arranged essentially everything to do with grad, and none of this would have been possible without her. We're sorry for being a little bit hard to deal with sometimes. Also, all the other teachers deserve some credit too. Thank you guys for setting up the ceremony, and thank you for being there for us and helping us get through the years of school we shared together. We would not be where we are today without a solid group of teachers that Irma School has provided with us. Lastly, we have to thank all the parents for showing us love and support throughout the school years and ultimately pushing us to where we are today. We cannot thank you enough.
Well done, Lincoln. That's the most I've heard you talk at one time in 6 years. So, well said. Okay, at this moment, we have what's called our Kodak moment. So get your cameras out. The grads are all going to stand, and you get to take as many wonderful photos of them as you want up on the stage. Okay, let's everyone give one more big hand for the class of 2021. This time I'd like to invite the grads escorts up to the front. This concludes the formal part of our program. We'll begin our grand march, so if everyone can remain seated while the grads are moving throughout the gym. Following the grand march, the graduates will grab their appropriate parent, appropriately, and retire to the back of the gym where we will begin the parent dance. Well done, grads. Congratulations. Okay, at this time, grads, if you can grab your parent and move to the back of the gym, we'll begin our parents' dance when everyone's ready. And all of our other invited guests, you're welcome to circle around the outside of the back of the gym and you get to watch. Yes, this is where all those social dance lessons from Mr. Parsons should have paid off. At this time, our next dance is the friend escort dance, or anyone else who wants to get up on the dance floor and cut a blue rug. Okay, on behalf of the class of 2021, I'd like to thank you all for coming. You're welcome to stay in the back and have some fellowship and take some pictures in front of the photo booth wall. And everyone have a safe and wonderful evening. Good luck with harvest, and we'll see you later. What's that?
Can you mention everybody's welcome to come have coffee and no?
Kara is also reminding us that there's time for fellowship over at the curling rink, I believe. Well done, Kyle.
I'm gonna take that. What's that?
It was his live stream mic.